When it comes to log properties, if you have a multiplication inside of a log, you can separate it into two logs with a plus. So this particular problem right here will be written as that 5x becomes a plus of 2 logs. So it would be log base 3 5 plus log base 3 x. You're allowed to separate the 5x into two distinct logs. Now this next one, if you look right here, when you divide inside, you separate it into two logs with a minus. So this next one would be ln x minus ln 8, because again it's division, so you put a minus between the two logs. For this one, if you have a power, according to this, the power can jump in front of the log. So I can basically take that power, bring it up front. So for this particular problem, it'll be 9 times log base 5x. What we did is we just took that 9 and brought it out front. And that is a property you're allowed to do with logs. Now let's take all those and put them together. So for this particular problem right here, what you would have is you would have log x, you would have log 9, and you would have log y to the 5th. Now, since the x is on top, it's a positive. Since the 9 is on bottom, it's a minus. Since the y to the 5th is on the bottom, you also have a minus. Since both those are on the bottom, they're both minuses to get down there. And then what you also got to realize is this power can come in front. So my final answer will be log x minus log 9 minus 5 log y. And that would be your answer. A lot of people want to put a plus here because they see this multiply, but in order to get this y to the 5th to the bottom, it had to be it had to be divided to get down there, which becomes a subtraction, because division in terms of logs are subtractions. So we are going to expand this log. We see three things inside the log. So to start it off, I want to write this as log base 5 x cubed, log base 5 4, and log base 5 y to the 1/2. Now, I got 1/2 right here because the square root is a 1/2 power. Now, what we have to decide on is how are these connected? Are they pluses or minuses? All right, so the first one is on top, so that stays just a positive in front. Since this is on the denominator, you had to divide in order to get down there, so there is going to be a minus between these. And since the square root of y, which is y to the 1/2, is also on the bottom, you have to minus to get down there. Because in order to get to a denominator, it needs to be divided to get down there. So that would be a subtract in terms of powers. All right, next step would be anything that is a power can come and jump in front. So those two will simply jump in front, leaving us 3 log base 5x minus log base 5 4, that one doesn't really simplify, minus the 1/2 goes in front of log base 5y. That right there is an expanded version of this. Remember, if it's on the top, it's a positive. If it's on the bottom, it was minus. Any powers can go in the front of the log. So now we're going to condense. So we're going to condense these two. First step when condensing is to take anything in the front and put it up as powers. So what I have to start with is log the square root of 36, because 36 to the 1/2 is the square root, minus log x to the 6th. Now, a minus, what does a minus mean? Well, when you do logs, a minus means divide. So I'm going to make one big log, divide. So the beginning, the square root of 36 is 6, that stays on top. And the x to the 6th is a minus, so that means divide, so put on the bottom, so x to the 6th is on the bottom. That is a condensed log. Next, let's bring all numbers in front and bring them up as powers. So what I have here is log base 2 5 to the 3rd minus log base 2 x to the 4th plus log base 2 y squared. Then we need to write this as one big, huge log base 2. Since I have a minus right there, I know there's going to be a fraction. 5 to the 3rd is 125. Put that on top. x to the fourth is a minus, that goes to the bottom, so x to the fourth is in the bottom. But we have this plus y squared. So the y squared is actually being on top because it's a plus. So it's going to be looking like that as a condensed version. So let us simplify or condense this. First thing I want to do here is to take this 2 and bring it up as a power. And since this 3 goes to 2 things, I'm going to bring that negative 3 to both pieces, making that, let's see what we get here. We have ln x, that'll be a squared, minus 3 ln y minus 3 ln 2. All right, because we're distributing the negative 3 to both pieces. Now, won't this 3 also become a power? Can we take that 3 and bring it up to be a power? Do another step. So this first piece just stays the same, still ln x squared, minus ln y cubed, minus ln 2 cubed. So now we have our pieces. Let's put it all into one singular log, which is ln, is the base. Ln means base e, but we'll just leave ln. Since there's minuses, we'll have a division. X squared goes on top. We have y to the third, and we have 2 cubed. 2 cubed is 8. So what you notice here, the minus for both of these means they both go to the bottom, and the 2 cubed, I saw that as 8, and I put it in front, because we don't put numbers behind variables, so I knew to look ahead to put that in front. So that right there is our answer, or our condensed version of this expanded log.